What's a man gotta do to get that kind of attention from you?
It's hard to say exactly, but you seem to be doing fine.
Well, great. Though truth is, it ain't me that wants you.
Oh?
No, Miss Jacqueline Natla does, from Natla Technologies. You know, creator of all things bright and beautiful.
Seal it, Larson.
Ma'am.
Feast your eyes on this, Lara. How does that make your wallet rumble?
I'm sorry. I only play for sport.
Then you'll like a big park. Peru, vast mountain ranges to cover, sheer walls of ice, rocky crags, savage winds, and there's this little trinket, an age-old artifact of mystical powers buried in the unfound tomb of Qualapec. That's my interest. You could leave tomorrow. Are you busy tomorrow?
You just pulled the tough end of a wishbone. Howdy.
Afternoon,
Left Larson sucking wind then, eh?
if that is the phrase.
Well, your little vacation riot's over now. Time to give back what you've hijacked off me.
Let's try the lunchbox.
Well, kill her!
Hey!
You morons! Let's go.
Chill. I'm going back inside. You coming?
Steady.
Here she goes.
We ready yet?
Relocated now to St. Francis's Folly, new temptations torment me. Rumour amongst
my fellow brothers is that entombed beneath our monastery is the body of Teokan, one of the 3 legendary rulers of the lost continent Atlantis, and that with him lies his piece of the Atlantean Scion, a pendant divided and shared between the 3 rulers, which curbs tremendous powers. Powers beyond the Creator himself. My toes sweat at such possibilities, lying so close to my mortal self. Each night, I beat myself rid of these fantasies, but it is indeed a test.
Pierre, you litterbug.
You can't do this.
We condemn you, Nakla of Atlantis, for your crimes, for the flagrant misuse of your powers, and for robbing us of ours.
You can't,
Breaking the 3 bond of consent that our people are ruled and secured under, and invading Teopan and myself with our army, our warriors, empty from our pyramid, so that you can use the pyramid, its powers of creation, for your own mindless destruction.
Mindless? Look at you! Neither of you have one squirt of inventive juice in your heads. Wasters.
Let's just do it.
Teokan!
You use the sacramental place as a source of individual pleasure, as some freak factory.
They're survivalists, a new generation.
A slaughter heap now. And you, we're gonna lock you in limbo. Make your veins, heart, feet, and that diseased brain stick solid with frozen blood. Greet your eternal unrest, Natla!
You won't rest either, or your damned continent Atlantis!
yelling myself hoarse on this radio every day. It's just the weather dumps on us frequently here. And maybe my transmission doesn't get through. I don't know.
I can't understand one word of what you say, Willard.
It's all going swell, sir.
Get the bit up. Get it out.
Turn it off! Off! Hey! Switch it off!
Think you better come and check out Site 2. What about this?
Blow through it! Found more meteorite.
Nah, something a little younger than that.
Oh no! Billy!
I don't want you to set that explosive, do you hear me? I do not want you to set that explosive!
Wretched pyros. This place is a busy history.
This is Hamlet's to base. Come in, base. Come in, base. Dead air, man. You gotta get down. This is too much. Hold on back there. That was hairy.
I don't want to be misrepresented by that retarded researcher you've just been with.
Lara.
I'm Dr. Willard. I'd come to converse with Tony myself, but I saw you were doing a rather more creditable job, I think. Indeed, I'm inspired. I'd like to offer you other work.
What? Shoot the breeze with some of your other boys? No thanks.
Fortunately, they were the only lab rats we let loose into the field. No. My request is for 3 other artifacts like this.
The Infada tribe only had one artifact of this type. It's unique. Anyway, what would your interest in it be?
I'll show you. It's not from India, rather an island near Antarctica. It is in fact meteorite rock that has been fashioned and used by Polynesians who once settled there many, many years ago. See that? That's unique. An unknown material.
So how did it end up here?
Formed from the planets, sculpted by Polynesians, distributed by goons. Our excavations and investigations have led us to this. A sailor's diary from Charles Darwin's expedition on the HMS Beagle.
August 14th, 1834.
This voyage is getting too boring for me to go on with this journal. Me adventures at sea are an embarrassment. The only tales I'll have to tell are hours of bird watching, picking and pressing flowers, following them blasphemous ideas of the governor, Darwin. But this don't even concern me now. I just want food. Something more than vegetable broth in me. Today we 5 have made a pact. The only sampling we're going to be doing is for meat. Pure, solid, blood-rich meat.
The snow's run out. The tracks have gone.
Just keep going. We're on its trail. Nobody better say nothing about this to the governor, else we'll be back having to hunt down that creature for his samples. Paul fell down a crevasse, okay?
Okay, Stephen.
Amen. Stephen was to be the only survivor of the four. When he arrived back in London, he superstitiously sold off his artifact, having seen his pals murdered or killed with theirs. One here in India, one in the South Pacific, and one in Nevada. The places where I'd like you to go.
Sounds good to me.
I, Semaket, High Priest of Horus, forewarn that he who
removes the amulet shall have released Set. He who walked abroad with the jackals at the dawn of man shall once again violate the earth. will again be free at the turn of the distant millennia. At his heel, plagues and locusts.
Harvests fail under the broken skies. My trusty companion returns.
The amulet, woman!
Once called forth, shall the heavens split asunder, and the light of the sun, god Horus, banish the Lord of Darkness, Set. I wouldn't advise it.
Fools! The Croft woman has outsmarted you, yeah? And now she escapes. The amulet, Herr von Croy. It talks of the priest, Semerket.
Semerket.
Mon Dieu! Lara?
Jean-Yves, my faithful friend.
I fear this is not a social visit?
Only if you want Von Croy gate-crashing the party.
Von Croy?
I think he was looking for this.
The amulet of Horus. An almost legendary artifact. So, you have found and opened the tomb of Set. This doesn't bode well. Translating from the Hebrew, he who removes the amulet shall once more release the dark power of Set. And Set saith, I am the shadow across the sun. I am the bringer of plagues. My wrath will consume all lands and shall be ceaseless.
The power to summon the sun god Horus to rebind the evil Set shall only be revealed to the bearer of the amulet within the temple of Semerket at Karnak.
The ceremony is complete as the armor of Horus summons the sun god. The armor of Horus. At the dig site in Alexandria, my men talk fearfully of this.
The armor must also be Von Croy's goal.
Only one so ignorant of the prophecies would dabble with such a prehistoric evil. Ah, yes. Releasing Set. But how could you have known, my dear?
Time to put things right and remove a thorn in my side in the process. For I have served the god of light, Horus, at the time of plagues. To read this inscription means that the ruler of
darkness is free. Set is released to walk abroad amongst the mortals, enlisting his armies of the night to serve him. He who removes the amulet and releases the dark power of Set shall summon the sun god Horus, for only the power of light will again imprison him. By the power of the amulet and armor of Horus shall Set, the ever-living, be confined for all eternity. Summon the light of Horus through the light of the millennial constellations into his temple beneath the ageless pyramid, into his likeness set in stone. With his amulet and his armor, he is once more poised to battle and defeat Set.
Hands on your head. Take me to Von Croy. Where's he headed?
You waste your time.
This attitude problem. You people need to learn some manners. Tell me now, or you've just run out of time.
Alexandria.
Your workforce is about to be delayed.
Lara, you are alive. I feared for you. What's...
Von Croy has the amulet.
Ah, this is bad. But he doesn't yet have the armor. There is still time to prepare for Set.
Jean, I'm tired. Give a girl a break.
My dear, when all this is over, you can retire. But now we must move swiftly. My men dive in the bay for remnants of Cleopatra's lost palaces.
Cleopatra?
Yes. She realized the armor's significance and had it brought here. Some was subsequently scattered, but...
And where would you recommend I start looking?
In the catacombs under Alexandria. My diggers have unearthed chambers connected to the Great Library. This would hold the true location of Cleopatra's palaces. We have yet to find a way in, but you...
Take me there.
There is a problem.
Von Croy.
Yes. His dig is expanding, crossing many of my own tunnels. Of course, my men would no longer work when Von Croy's thugs appeared on the scene.
Time to introduce myself to Werner's loyal workforce.
First, you must get into the catacombs. Von Croy has them completely sealed up, and I fear he will soon have the armor.
Over my dead body.
This I fear also. I shall wait here for news. Return if you feel I can help in any way. Good luck, Lara. I fear you may need it.
I make my own luck.
Congratulations! You survived to fight another day. I trust that you now have all the armor. Jean-Yves shall be escorting us to Cairo, not entirely of his own free will, I admit. A simple trade, his life for the armor of Horus. Do not take too long thinking it over. Yours apologetically, Werner.
Miss Croft!
Von Croy.
You sound concerned, my dear. Have you misplaced something?
Nothing I shan't be retrieving at a later date, Lieber.
You know how I admire your perseverance, but I fear this time we may be testing it to the, how would you say, maximum.
Always griping, Werner. If it's the leg causing all this resentment, I seem to remember that being down to your affinity with pulling hazardous levers.
Enough of this tedious banter, Miss Croft. It is time for you to realize... Miss Croft? Now, let us review your sprinting skills.
Quickly, girl, before it collapses around you.
You back, Werner? No more set?
No time. Your hand, Lara. Give me your hand. Take my hand. I can pull you to safety.
Good to see you again, Lara.
I couldn't leave you!
In world news, a private memorial service was today held for renowned archaeologist Lara Croft.
'Tis a sad day, Winston. She will live on forever in our hearts. Surely, Winston. And for this is but a memorial service. There may yet be news from Von Croy in Egypt. Indeed. We can only hope and pray that she may yet return to us. But I fear Von Croy, digging in the hopes of discovering her alive, may only be met with black reality. Indeed, indeed. To the study, gentlemen, where we may pontificate over the day's disheartening events.
Indeed, my friend. Even the heavens cry out.
Ah, the Philosopher's Stone. One of Lara's early conquests, and one of her most challenging pursuits, if my memory serves me. And Rome still bears the scars of that little episode.
Ah, she was never one for diplomacy, Lara. But she certainly knew how to paint the town red.
Well, god darn, ain't she just a picture?
Ah, the charming Mr. Larson. Has Pierre let you off the leash? Talking of which, where is our learned friend?
Oh, he's around. You got the cash?
I've got the cash, but I don't deal with the monkey.
Well, now that ain't polite for a lady. Even if the monkey has the Mercury Stone.
Lucky I'm in a generous mood. Ah, crawled out from under your rock, I see.
No need for unpleasantries, Miss Croft. I'm afraid I must, once again, relieve you of your burden.
Easy come, easy go.
Till the fat lady sings. Fucking Bronco, baby! We ain't gonna make that gap, boss.
We'll make it.
Ain't gonna.
We'll make it.
What did I tell you?
Mon Dieu!
And so ended the first of many.
I'm sure Miss Croft would be the first to apologize for her not entirely courteous behavior regarding some of the more delicate religious artifacts, Father Patrick.
No need, my friend. All in a good cause. At least we knew they were in secure hands. And fortunately, the church was above sending a bulletproof envoy to retrieve them.
Ah, but she recognized her place in the great scheme. Some things, as history has illustrated, best left to their slumber. I speak in riddles. I talk of the stricken wolf ship.
Ah, the U-boat episode. Miss Croft would never enlighten me as to the details. For my own protection, she would often stress.
Indeed, Winston. And for this you should be grateful. Deep in the bowels of their vessels lay one of the most powerful artifacts in all Christendom. An artifact which, when wielded at the vanguard of an army, would make that army invincible.
The Spear of Destiny.
But the boat never reached the fatherland with its precious cargo. It disappeared from radar 3 weeks into the journey. This was the resting place of the 52 seamen, and also something much more sinister. The Zapadnaya Litsa port, once the pride of the Russian fleet. Ex-KGB, the majority of them, trained killers.
Dealt with mafioso before. Unpleasant memories. Prefer to avoid them whenever possible.
Yes, I would prefer this also.
Hardly a major search party, is it? There's something you're not telling me.
Ah, yes.
I'm a big girl now. Hit me with the bad news.
It is bad news. The Admiral's allegiance has been bought, and under his command, a nuclear submarine. It's housed in one of the dockyards.
Well done. Nuclear submarine. Sounds nice. Perfect holiday.
Lara, wait. Take this tracking device.
What's this? You're not worried about me.
Yes, somebody has to.
Touching. But don't wait up.
Lara saw enough of the power of this artifact to recognize its rightful place was where man could never again misuse it.
And not enough for it to destroy her. Some powers are beyond the wit of man.
Oh dear, gentlemen. I do apologize. It seems someone up above has a sense of humor. If you will excuse me a moment, I shall fetch candles.
It is a night spurred by hell.
And as the horsemen drove ever onwards across the world, the heavens boiled in their wake. Ah, benefits of a religious education. This night reminds me of the time out at Canusi.
Winston's home?
Indeed, yes. The staff had taken leave due to flooding. Lara, back when she was a slip of a girl, was staying with Winston and his wife. It was her that contacted me, as a matter of fact. Some trouble out on one of the islands. Weird lights, manifestations, that sort of thing. thought I might be able to help. It was on a hellish night like this when I arrived. Evening, Winston. And how would I be able to help? So, people have seen these apparitions out on the island.
There is talk of little else in the village, Bram. I'm doing all I can to keep this gossip from Lara.
You would be a wise man. It would be unwise for her curiosity to draw her to that place.
And you have some idea of what it could be?
To be frank with you, no. But as the devil finds work for idle hands, I've spoken with Father Finnegan and have a boat chartered for the crossing late on this very evening.
Good Lord, Bram. You have not chosen the evening for it.
I have my faith to protect me, Winston.
Be careful. I fear on that island it's what you cannot see that will hurt you, Bram.
Time to get to the bottom of this, old friend. And you'll have learnt a few valuable lessons from that, I'd be thinking.
You'd be thinking right, Father.
Her curiosity was eventually her failing.
The path she chose was the path she loved. And for this, we should celebrate, not grieve. Although I fear for Von Croy, pursuing his inner demons, driven half to madness in his quest for her final resting place, he will not find peace in himself until this is complete. Ah, the infamous trophy room. And you will be doing the acrobatics to enter, Winston, yes?
Miss Croft did enjoy her little games. And here it is, gentlemen. The artifact which led to the animosity between Miss Croft and Von Croy, ending ultimately in this terrible business.
Okay, Miss Croft, I'm presuming by the lack of communication that your industry is building, right? Containing our little prize, the Iris?
Affirmative.
Right. Now this is what you're good at, yeah? Time to switch roofs.
Switch roofs? Easy to say from the ground floor, wouldn't you agree?
Come on now, stiff upper lip, top hole and all that. Time to get hip with zip.
Gone.
Yo! Jimi Hendrix is back! Laura! You there, Laura? Croft! Are you getting this?
Limey.
Jeez, now that was a blast. What the hell happened?
Never mind, Yankee. I'm going in.
To absent friends.
Indeed.
May God rest her soul.
Mr. Von Croy! Mr. Von Croy! Come quickly!
What is it, man? What have you found? Pass it to me. Pass it to me. We've found her. Help me, Lara. I need you to get something for me.
Go on.
I'm tracking 5 obscura paintings for a client called Eckhart, but he's a psychopath.
Why should I care?
Because I'm being stalked. People are dying out there.
Handle it, Werner.
Lara, please. Look, go and see this woman, Carvier. She can help.
I'm going. Eat it, Werner. You walked away and left me.
Get out!
There have been 17 reported murders so far in this latest outbreak of monstrous killings. It would appear to be the work of a single, highly psychotic perpetrator. The name of the latest victim was just released. A Professor Werner von Croy. A female, described as Caucasian, brunette, and wearing a ponytail, was seen leaving the most recent crime scene. Officers are advised to use extreme caution when apprehending the suspect. At present, nothing appears to link any of the individuals involved. There are no known survivors of these attacks so far.
tracking 5 obscura paintings for a client. People are dying out there.
Handle it, Werner. Egypt, Werner. You walked away and left me.
Get out! Get out of the way! Tracking 5 obscura paintings for a client called Eckhart, but he's a psychopath.
Why should I care?
Because I'm being stalked. People are dying out there.
Handle it, Werner.
Lara, please. Look, go and see this woman, Carvier. She can help.
I'm going. Egypt, Werner. You walked away and left me. There was no pity then.
Get out! Get out of the way!
You located the painting for me. Why have you not delivered it?
I daren't collect it. It's too dangerous. But she'll be able to. No!
Your usefulness is finished. You humans break so easily.
Doesn't mean they're not real.
That is very true, but perhaps they don't wish to be found. I've heard they're rather fierce.
Yeti only look fierce. They probably don't like being so cold all the time. I shouldn't like it either.
You never have to be cold, my Lara, if you don't want to be.
Look!
Henry, what's happened?
Lady Croft,
Mayday! This is Bravo Tango 229er. We lost our port side engine. Trying to get cross feeds open.
Are we going to crash?
Starboard engine non-responsive.
Not unless it's absolutely necessary.
Stabilizer jam. Kicking rudder losing altitude. We're going full nose down. think you forgot your climbing gear on purpose.
What would give you that idea? Really, Zip. It's like going up a set of stairs, only far less boring.
Yeah? Well, I want to throw up every time you look down. Hey, Alice is back. Grab a headset.
Back so soon? From Florence, wasn't it?
Decided on Genoa at the last minute. My dissertation will never see daylight at this rate, but never mind that. What are you doing in Bolivia?
Ascending. Alistair, meet Tuanak. She's a lovely pre-Incan civilization, currently in ruins.
Delighted.
Now, what's a man gotta do to get that sort of attention from you?
If that's the sort of attention you want, Larson, you're well on your way.
Sounds like fun, but I'm only here to make an introduction. Lara Croft, meet Jacqueline Natla of Natla Technologies.
Good afternoon, Miss Croft. My research department has recently turned its focus to the study of ancient artifacts, and I'm led to believe that with the right incentive, you're just the woman to find them for me.
I'm afraid you've been misled. I only play for sport.
Which is precisely why I've come to you, Miss Croft. This is a game you've played before, with your father. You both spent years searching for the Scion of Atlantis. All you needed was the location of Qualopec's tomb.
You found Vilcabamba.
How quickly can you get to Peru?
Vilcabamba continues to elude us, and my insistence that we press on in spite of these failures has morale low. I suspect Jenkins to be the author of this sedition. He simply refuses to accept the possibility that Atlantis is the foundation upon which all known civilizations were built. Increasingly, I find it is Lara alone who remains untainted by academic dogma and open-minded enough to see this truth.
No traje bastante cuerda.
Not to worry. I'll find another way up. To be cold, my Lara, if you don't want to be. No, get back!
What's happening, Mother?
Good Lord. What is it? Oh, God, no!
Mother? Mother!
Lara Croft, meet Jacqueline Natla.
It was you. You were the Queen of Atlantis. Once. I cannot die, you fool!
I think the stone unlocks the door.
The door might be trapped.
We're trapped! Amanda!
I think Amanda might not have died down
You idiot! You ruined everything!
Makes sense right this second, or I swear I'll execute you where you stand!
I'm told you!
Where is my mother?
Avalon! She's not dead!
According to Aztec myth, the region we call the Yucatan is an ancient battleground where the human followers of Totec, the Guardian of Light, once waged a catastrophic war against the demonic forces of Zolot, the Keeper of Darkness. It is written that Zolot called upon the power of an artifact known as the Mirror of Smoke to summon forth a horde of unspeakable horrors from the abyss. Totec's warriors were slaughtered in the battle that followed, but Totec himself survived. He found a way to turn the mirror's power back against the evil god. Zolot was imprisoned within the mirror, and the descendants of Totec went on to forge a mighty empire that lasted until the arrival of the conquistadors. As for what happened to the Mirror of Smoke, the ancient texts are vague. Some say it was hidden in a secret place, that the mirror was lost forever. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that nothing is lost forever. And here it is. After weeks of hiking through the treacherous Central American jungle, I finally found the Mirror of Smoke. It isn't much to look at, but that's something else I've learned. Appearances can be deceiving. Apparently these guys know it too. Meet Vasco, the local warlord. Vasco's been after the mirror for years, but he couldn't find it. Not without my help, anyway. I guess Vasco doesn't read much either. He doesn't seem to know about the curse. Or maybe he just doesn't believe it.
Zolot, face me! You are not worthy, Totec. Have you forgotten the last time we met in battle? A new day has dawned, and soon, night will fall on this world for the last time. You know not the darkness you have unleashed. Zolot will drown this world in blood.
No need to be dramatic. Surely there's a way to set this right.
Zolot must be imprisoned within the mirror and return to this place before the light of dawn. It is the only way to stop him. Stand back. This is no job for a woman.
Perhaps you should stand back. Unless you want to singe that pretty skirt of yours. Step away from that door, or this bomb is going to hurt more than your pride.
How can this be?
Looks like you're out of luck.
No! Hurry! We must get the mirror back to its shrine before the first light of dawn. Quickly, replace the mirror.
What about you?
I must remain and protect our Age of Light. It is my destiny. Now return the mirror.
Take care, Totec. The mirror has been returned to its secret place, and Zolot to his eternal prison. When I'm gone, this place will be lost again. But for how long? If there's one thing I've learned in all my travels, it's that nothing is lost forever, but some things should never be found. Unexpected.
A famous explorer once said that the extraordinary is in what we do, not who we are. I'd finally set out to make my mark, to find adventure, but instead, adventure found me. moments. When life flashes before us, we find something. Something that keeps us going. Something that pushes us. Here's the soon-to-be world-famous archaeologist, Lara Croft, in her native habitat. She's on the hunt for the lost kingdom of Yamatai, home to the fabulous Himiko, mythical Sun Queen, and ancestor of yours truly.
Sam, this is serious.
Oh, sweetie, I know. I'm just trying to lighten the mood here. Everyone's so on edge. What are you so worried about?
I'm close to something. I'm sure of it. I just don't know if the others will listen. Or even if they should.
Lara, you know this stuff better than anyone. Seriously, I'm not just saying this to make you feel better. I trust you, Roth trusts you. You got this. Now let's take a break, okay?
Okay. And Sam, thanks.
She's not always this serious, you know?
Come on, tackle it! No, it's your chance!
How can you suggest I'm not serious about this expedition, Lara? It's not just Sam's family funding us. I put my savings on the line, too.
We've all got some kind of stake in this. The funding won't last forever, Whitman.
That's precisely why we should push east, not west.
No one believes Yamatai is that far east. The books simply don't support it.
Well, whoever wrote those books never found Yamatai.
I've talked to Roth about this. There's no point in following in other people's footsteps, Dr. Whitman.
I refuse to bet my reputation on your hunch. I'm the lead archaeologist here.
And when were you last in the field without a TV crew behind you?
Got 30 years experience, 2 PhDs, 1 in East Asian history, so why don't you just stick to boats, Mr. Grimm?
Ship, Dr. Whitman. It's a ship. You don't need a PhD to know that.
Going east will take us directly into the Dragon's Triangle. That's where we need to go.
Lara, my little bird. I'd follow you almost anywhere, but that place has a bad energy.
Bad storms, more like. Makes the Bermuda Triangle look like Disney World. Sign me up.
The stories about Queen Himiko say she could summon storms. Myths are usually based on some version of the truth. What if Yamatai was somewhere in the triangle itself?
Well, look, this is the satellite imagery from inside the Dragon's Triangle.
That doesn't look good.
If it's wet, I can sail on it.
Oh, don't tell me you're seriously
Reyes is right. We don't have the funds to piss about. It's now or never. Lara's offering fresh ideas and a plan. I'm the captain here. It's my decision. We're going into the Dragon's Triangle.
Why am I even here?
I'm telling you, Reyes, it's mechanical, not an electrical problem.
Now, Alex.
This looks like it might be an electrical problem.
You think?
Oh, hello. Hey, who's this little fox, huh?
Ah, she's cute, huh? Yes, Alicia.
Alicia.
It's my daughter.
Oh.
14 years old. And smarter than you'll ever be.
She must get that from her father.
Don't give him the attention. And, yeah.
I'll take a look at this. Probably electrical. From her father. Nice one.
So I was on the lock, right? Doing a spot of midnight fishing.
Hey, Grim. Time to button down the hatches.
I'd be right with you. So I was on the lock, right? And this thing comes looming at me. Looming out of the water it was. So I give it a old Glasgow kiss, you know. Gets you out of trouble 9 times out of 10, that does. Took me a week to sleep that night off. And I've not touched a drop since. See you at dinner, Sam.
All right, can we take B-roll, please? Thank you. Dr. James Whitman, filler 15, take 3, and action.
Okay, now take a firm grip and then slice him down the belly, like this. Yeah, you got it.
Good Lord, cut! 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 Cut!
Is he coming back?
I'll go get him.
World-renowned archaeologist. I discover...
The world-renowned archaeologist,
fish.
Mr. Dr. James Whitman.
Breeds of fish.
It's just a fish. It's
I
fine.
know it's just
You're
a
gonna be
fish.
fine.
This damned reality TV business. I'm meant to be bringing culture to the people, Sam, not dinner. No offense, Jonah.
The audience demands content, Dr. Whitman. You know that. So until we find the Lost Kingdom, we need footage like this. Come on, let's just take it from the top, okay? We're gonna make you look like Gordon Ramsay in editing. Dr. James Whitman, filler 15, take 4, action.
Okay, now take a firm grip and then slice him down the belly, like that.
I've studied them so much, I can see charts on the back of my eyelids. But if I'm not right about Yamatai being in the Dragon's Triangle...
I remember when you found that on one of your father's days. You ran up and showed it to me dressed in your penguin pajamas.
I was 5 years old. It was my first find.
Yeah. You've got great instincts, girl. You just have to trust them.
That's what my father used to say.
Now, there was a man that ran on instinct. For better or worse. He would have been so proud of you, Lara.
We're getting closer to the storm.
Now, whatever's coming, we'll get through it, eh?
In Egyptian mythology, the god King Osiris unified the kingdoms and ruled with wisdom and justice over the whole of Egypt, until he was killed by his brother, the usurper Set. Osiris's wife, the goddess Isis, recovered her husband's lifeless body. Using the power within the staff of Osiris, she returned him to the world, but only long enough to conceive a son, Horus. When Set learned of her actions, he stole the staff and used its power to imprison Isis and Horus. Then he seized the reanimated form of Osiris, tore his body into pieces, and scattered them across the land until he ruled Egypt unopposed. As his kingdom declined, he descended to the Underworld, Duat, in search of greater power. But Osiris alone possessed the power to return from Duat, and without the staff, Set found himself trapped for eternity. The Temple of Osiris remained sealed for thousands of years until I discovered a way inside. But I was not alone. Carter Bell, a rising star in archaeology, was also in search of the staff. The lost staff of Osiris was inside. With our prize so close, the race was on. Carter, wait!
Ha! Not this time, Croft!
But it was too late. The staff was a trap, and the temple a prison. Carter and I were cursed.
We owe you our thanks, travelers. You have freed us from our prison. But you are now marked for judgment. You do not have much time. Duat, the realm of the dead, awaits. I am Isis, and this is my son, Horus. We are the last of the old gods who stood against Set. If you wish to live, we must escape this temple and find the pieces of Osiris. Osiris? My beloved?
I do not have long, Isis. You have restored much of my power, but I belong in the land of the dead now.
Father, you cannot leave. Not again.
It is the way of the world, my son. Set will try to break free, and Duat will not hold him forever. It is a cycle.
If he does, we will be here. We will stop him again.
You must be forever vigilant. Mortals, you have done the work of gods this day, and for that, I owe you everything. You are free of Set's curse. Free to choose your own path. My family, know that I will watch over you. Keep me in your hearts until I return.
Well, Croft, I suppose I owe you an apology. If I hadn't touched the staff...
Water under the bridge, Carter. I suppose it would have been me had I been ahead.
Don't you dare tell anyone this, but it was a hell of an honor to work with you.
Your secret is safe with me, and likewise.
Should you come back this way again, find us. We will need your help. Set will not stay dead for long, and the fight is not yet over. You may keep the treasures you took from this place, as long as you use them in the service of the light. Go, with the blessings of Osiris.
With the curse broken, we were free to choose our own path, to leave and never look back if we wished. But there are many paths, and some choices are easier than others. Set will return, and the gods will need my help. And when they do, I'll be ready.
What makes someone reach beyond the boundaries of human experience to face the unknown? As children, we question the world around us. We learn, we accept, and gradually we lose our capacity for wonder. But some do not. The explorers, the seekers of truth. It is these pioneers who define the future of mankind.
The others, they're done. No amount of money's gonna get them through those mountains.
The lost city's up there, somewhere.
That's gonna be a hell of a climb.
I'm not turning back.
I know.
You should stay here with them.
Not a chance. Almost there. Wait till you see this view, Lara. Take my hand.
Thanks. Look at that.
It's amazing. But the snow coming off those peaks is a bad sign. What are you doing?
I'm gonna level it!
There are no parachutes!
I know! Get ready to jump!
No fucking way!
Jonah, we have to!
Are you out of your fucking mind, Lara?
We have no choice!
I'm not jumping out of this plane!
Come on! Come on! Jonah, you there? Shit.
You okay?
Jonah, I'm here. Just a little stuck. A rock hit my leg.
Don't move, I'll get help.
No, I'm right on Trinity's tail. I don't want to attract attention.
I'm on my way.
I won't be long.